Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Leslie. This is a series of frugal thoughts, and my frugal thought for you today is about thrift stores. I'm going to do a video about the do's and don'ts of thrift stores, and I had done this and it was longer than I liked, but more importantly my husband walked in right through the doors, so I'm going to redo it. Here it is. People always say to me like, oh Leslie, you get the greatest things at thrift stores, and I will say I've been going to thrift stores for years. So you have to, if you want to start going to thrift stores, or rather, if you want to get good at thrift stores, you have to start going to thrift stores. You can't just, people say, oh, you get such great things. Well, I go like once a week or so. And so maybe not that much, but sometimes it's more. Sometimes it's twice a week. Sometimes it's not once a month. But I go, so I know the prices. In my area, I used to go to Second Avenue, which is, I think, Savers. More recently, in the last 5 years, I've been going to Goodwill bins, which are the outlet clearance centers attached to and sometimes separate from the Goodwill. It's where all the things that did not sell in Goodwill go. So it's like the Goodwill rejects, for want of a better word. Oftentimes they are in these bins and you go through them and you pay per pound. They're only there, in my opinion, because oftentimes the prices at the Goodwills are too expensive. So I do go sometimes to the Goodwills, but because on Tuesdays they have $2 day and they have different color tags, and once a week a particular tag will be $2. It will be like the black tags will be $2, or the red tags. So sometimes it's worth going on Tuesdays to get those, to see if there's anything good. So this is going to be my do's and don'ts. I'm already talking too much. I do not normally have a script. I do have a little script today, so here it is. Do go. The first one is a do, and it is do go. You do want to go, because you will get, that's how you get used to the prices. I always tell people this, I keep on saying this, you get the most amazing things. I go frequently. So start to go, get over, and this is something like, don't get over, you do need to get over the ick factor. A lot of people will say, oh, I don't like to go. Oh, they gross me out. It's so gross wearing, in my opinion, it's no different than wearing a hand-me-down from a friend or a family member. So as long as you bring it home, wash it really well. If it's, clean it, dry heat, as far as I'm concerned, it's great. So go, so you can kind of get an idea of what, especially in your area, what is available. I remember in the Tightwad Gazette, Amy Decision was looking for something particular, and I'm going to probably refer back to this, about this pair of LL Bean, I think it was LL Bean boots. She lived up in Maine. There were tons of LL Beans. She said, I didn't have to wait very long. You might not be able to get that if you live in Florida. So kind of see when things show up and what things. Obviously, there's always a ton of Christmas ornaments. There's always a ton of Halloween things, So start to go, so you know what things are there. Don't be intimidated. Nobody cares that you're there. No one is passing judgment on you. I can tell you, as someone who has gone for years, I have seen women walking in with designer Prada purses and Gucci and all these amazing things that frankly they probably got at a thrift store. And then I see people wearing Levi's and kits. Everyone's all over no one. And as I always say, nobody cares. People are doing their own thing. They're just paying attention to what they're doing, and that's great. I said, this was do's and don'ts. Do explore, and so that you get an idea of what's going on. And this is another one. Do wait if the price is too high. It often goes down. At the Savers, they say, there's a sign that says, if you don't like this price, just wait a few days and it will go down, because I think they have like step pricing down until at the end, it's like, 90% off or something. So the downside to that is that if you see something that you really like, you miss the opportunity you might lose it. I saw a beautiful Pendleton jacket, like an outdoorsy kind of jacket. It was amazing, and it was $19.99, and I almost got it, but that was too much for me. You have to, because I know that I will probably be able to see something like that again. That's that. Do check out, do what I call recognizance, and my kids might say I'm saying that wrong, but check out things that you think you're going to need. However, remembering that there's a fine line between getting things that you need and getting things that you really need. Like, for instance, I see the most beautiful Christmas ornaments in the bins, and glass antique ornaments. The simple fact is I don't need any more glass Christmas ornaments. I'm done. Like at some point when my children are married and have families, I might get some of them and bring them over, and they will be beautiful, and they would be beautiful, but I'm really kind of out of I mean, I have a Christmas tree every year. It's usually right there for like 2 months at a time, but I don't really need any more Christmas ornaments. I'm good. So it doesn't do me any good to be looking for them or picking them up, but there was a time when that was great. Do get basics. I wear so many white turtlenecks. I wear so many white and black and tops, or white tops, white cotton flowy tops in the summer. I'm going to get them if I see them. I do get them. It's great to be able to like have them build up and not have one top and pay 45 cents for it at the Goodwill bins. However, this is do's and don'ts, don't overbuy. There is a fine line. I mean, I always remember, and this was something Amy Decision said in the Tightwad Gazette, that if something costs a dime and you don't need it, you're still wasting 10 cents, and I forget what her example was, but, even if I have 5 white cotton shirts, some are short sleeves, some are no sleeves, some are sleeveless, some are long sleeve, there comes a point where you don't need any more white cotton t-shirts for the summer because you do have so don't overbuy. And don't just go because it's cheap. I mean, there's sometimes, like for instance, for Christmas this year, we had all of our kids, all of our boys were wearing jeans, and 2 of my boys were like, yeah, well, I don't really wear jeans. I don't really have jeans. And I was like, oh, I wish I'd known, because we got this picture taken, I would have been able to pick up jeans at the bins. So I think they all end up wearing chinos instead. And as it turns out, it's mid-February, I've already picked up Levi 501 jeans for all 3 of my boys in their sizes that are upstairs waiting for them for this year's Christmas picture, that they will already have the jeans that they need. And they were, and obviously they can take them home with them. I said don't hesitate to buy new with tag items, or really nice gifts that you can, really nice items that you can give as a gift. I have given my friends and family and my relatives and neighbors gifts that I've gotten at the bins. Sorry guys, if you're finding this out right now, that were new with tag. I mean, some of them are just insane. I recently got for my niece a new with tag. It was a cute little baby. She had a baby girl. It was like a little tutu, long sleeve, it was like all in one romper with a little fuzzy pink tutu, and it said like dress to go out or something cute. It was really cute. It was a designer. It had $118 new with tag. The price tag was still on it, and I got it for the price of 50. It was 50 cents, and I gave it to my niece as a gift. I mean, I did give her something else, but my point is that, and I always say this, if you're going to give someone a gift that you got at the bins, that doesn't mean you have to justify why you didn't spend any money, because they don't know how much money you spent on it. So it's a gift. I could have bought that in that boutique that's downtown that had the price tag on it for $118. I just didn't. I got it for 45 cents. So that's good. I said, don't feel compelled to buy. I have many times, in fact, yesterday I went up to the bins and I had to drop my daughter or pick up my daughter. So I ran up, it's like 10 minutes beyond. And I had been there for like 45 minutes and I didn't find anything. And that is really unusual. And then at the last minute, I found a Lululemon. It was a $118 jacket that was really nice, and I washed, and I'm probably going to sell. My daughter, I get offers to my daughter. She don't want it, and I will sell it. And that was great, so, but don't feel compelled to buy. Do look for sales, especially around the holidays. Frequent buyers, they have, I know that Goodwill has a frequent buyer, and so does Savers. For us, it's called Second Avenue. And senior citizens, apparently, at our Goodwill on Mondays, you get, I think, 20% off your total. I think that's what the gentleman told me, because I asked him about it. This weekend, which is coming up to President's Weekend, it's 50% off all clothes at the Second Avenue that I go to. I will say that sometimes I kind of look at the prices and kind of wonder if they jack the prices up 5 to 10 days before the sale, so that the items are already, like, instead of being $5.99, they would be $9.99. So the half price is $5 instead of being $3.50, whatever. So I sometimes, or $3. I always think that I sometimes wonder if they jack up the prices, but just be looking for sales. I know that I will not go to the Second Avenue unless it's a sale, because their sales are 50% off, and I just know, I'm like, okay, I can just wait until the next holiday. They have them around President's Day, Easter weekend, they'll have one, Memorial Day, 4th of July, Labor Day, Columbus Day, a big one over the 4th of July, and then Christmas. So that's good. I also said, do think outside the box. I was recently at the bins, and there was a pack of 1,000 really small, like three, like really small little trash bags this big. It would have been, I don't know what it would have been, like maybe like, oh, you know what? It was probably for like what people would put your compost stuff, like your garbage, I think they used to call it. What did they used to call it? They used to call it something, and you would have a little tiny thing with a cover on it on your counter while you were cooking, like your eggshells and that kind of stuff. It was that size. It was too small, but then I realized it was like 1,000. I was like doing the math, and I like put the price. I weighed them, and I realized I could use these as poop bags for my daughter. She seems like my daughter. My dog Mabel, who I was doing the research and looking into how much poop bags are, and I was like, wow, these are 1,000 bags here that I'm going to get for about $2. That's, I think it's 0.0002, whatever, basically 1/5 of a penny for each one, instead of 3 cents each for a poop bag. We use all kinds of things, newspaper sleeves, whatever we can find for our dog. But anyway, that's that thing. Do think ahead of what you need when we were getting, when we had our dog, and my husband was complaining because he was putting the poop bags, I'm going to sneeze, into our trash can, and I'm not going to edit that. I'm sorry. Into the trash can, and then he noticed that the flies were flying around. So I was like, okay, we need a dedicated trash can. So I happened to be up there, and like 2 days later, there was one of those little ones that you put your foot on to open it up, and it was completely, and then you closed it. And I was like, this is exactly what we need, a dedicated poop thing that we put on the side of the house, and it's great. And do be realistic. I get so many beautiful, you see designer dresses, you see wool coats, you see beautiful things up there. And realistically, be realistic. Are you really going to wear this outfit? Are you really going to ever wear the beaded? I mean, I just don't live that kind of life, which I'm okay with. But, I just don't have a life where I'm going to wear beaded and bejeweled items and, long gowns and things like that. So no matter, even if it's a Christian Dior and it's absolutely beautiful, I would probably pick it up to send it to the Real, but I'm not going to get it for me to buy. And the last thing is, do look for alternatives. If you live in a really remote area, where they are absolutely no thrift stores, I think you're going to be surprised. Usually hospitals have them, like some kind of hospital thrift store situation that the women's or men's auxiliary will run in order to get money. Churches frequently have them. There's one nearby that's called, people rave about it. It's called the Whatnot Shop. It's attached to one of our local churches. Actually, I'm sorry. Yeah. Well, now that I'm thinking about it, I can think of at least 3 hospitals. I live outside of Philadelphia who have really terrific thrift stores attached to them. So anyway, do look outside. And there's also oftentimes like little, places. I just look in your area. So get out there and look. If you're looking for a North Face jacket and you don't want to spend $120, I guarantee you will find one within 2 days if you spend a lot of time and effort looking. It's just the kind of thing you're going to find all the time. So that is my do's and don'ts of thrift store shopping. If you do thrift store shop, let me know, and let me know what your greatest find was. I'm trying to think. The greatest thing I ever got that I sold were 2 boxes of vintage Pampers that were sealed, and they were from like the 60s. And I asked the guy, and he said he worked for a movie company outside of Atlanta, Georgia, and they needed the mother to open the door, and they wanted these vintage boxes of Pampers in the background. So I think Pampers came out in like 1960s. So I made about $250 a box on them. So that was an amazing sale. But for me personally, I can't really think of what the best thing I ever got. This is a cashmere sweater. I get cashmere all the time. I got this there. Yeah, I can't think. I get so many great things, I can't really think about it. But I think this was another thing. This has to do more with like yard sales. And I'm going off track, but this was also a Amy Decision thing that I learned from that I had wanted real, not fake, old, beautiful urns for my front. I wanted footed urns that went up, and I wanted them to be this big and this round. And I looked and I looked, and I went and I priced them at this local nursery that they were like $300 each. And she always says, be patient, like just keep on, you're going to find them. And about 2 months later, I was pregnant with my fourth, and I found the urns. I had gone to a yard sale. It was, the father had passed away. The kids were wanting the mother to get rid of stuff. And at the front of the house were these two enormous urns. And I said to the guy, one of the sons, is there any chance you're getting rid of the urns? And he was like, yes. And I said, how much? He said, 2 for $15. That was 20 years ago. And they are I love these urns so much. So that was this is not on the topic of the thrift stores. But anyway, I'm sharing with you my favorite thing that I ever bought. Let me know what was the favorite thing you ever bought. And yeah, thank you so much for watching this. Thank you so much to my new subscribers. I really appreciate you being here. Let me know, like and subscribe, and let me know what your favorite thrift store item was. Thanks. Bye-bye.